I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get this sauce.
Good evening, or good morning, I should say. Happy Saturday morning to you all. Obviously, we're going to run through MLB right now with me and Spoon, as we always do. Of course, Kyle will have his Saturday show for college football as well in the morning, so make sure you guys check that out, obviously. Oh, it's already up.
Oh,
perfect.
so I'm sorry. So there's a video up already, and tomorrow morning is the live show at 10.
Perfect. So, obviously, we're trying to cover everything as much as possible. Spoon, how was your day today? I know I just asked.
Decent day so far. Went 2 and 3. Nothing to write home about or anything, but I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, that was me yesterday. Anyway, I'm decent. I'm like 3 and 1 today. Nothing crazy though. Got really, really lucky in Philadelphia with an over that probably shouldn't have hit. But shout out to Bryson Stott for that 2-run meaningless shot at the end of the game. But anyway, I do have a few bets, few games I've already bet, couple prices that make absolutely no sense for me tomorrow. Also, just really quickly, shout out to you, Kyle. Bet Florida with you at 9.5 minus 105, sitting at 7s now. Are you kidding me?
Dude, I got Old Dominion at plus 12.5. It's currently 5. It's a whole touchdown.
Hell yeah. I didn't even see that one. I'm on West Virginia and Florida with you. And then obviously you haven't watched the Netflix documentary because you're trying to fade Pavia again, but it's all good. Anyway, I don't know anything about college football, guys. Don't take anything I say with anything type of serious at all. I just like making fun of people.
Real quick.
Anyway,
Dylan Calandro in the comments, dude, you need to get help. Seriously, like I've been telling you to stop gambling for week. Like you need to get help. I'm not even trying to really get some help, man. Holy crap. This guy has been freaking out. Like, please just stop watching gambling content. Get some help. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So first game on the board today, Rays on the road, in Chicago. Drew Rasmussen on the mound for the Rays, Colin Ray on the bump for the Cubbies. It's only me and Spoon, so he can start off, but he'd normally start off anyway because it is the Cubs. So what's your thoughts on this one, brother?
I really like the Rays here at this price, plus money with Drew Rasmussen. I know it's the Cubs at home. They're in a playoff push. The Rays still are technically in the playoff hunt. I think they have a 9% chance to make the playoffs right now, so they need to win every game they can as well. But Colin Ray hasn't necessarily been that trustworthy. His last 3 games, he's given up 10 earned runs and has only made it into the 5th inning one time, or past the 5th inning. So I'm not in love with him right now. I think this Rays lineup can get a few runs off him, and the Cubs really haven't been getting to righties recently. I think Drew Rasmussen can come out there and pitch a good game. It's not a game I bet yet, but I lean the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Rasmussen's been really good, and he usually pitches at least through the 6 innings. I mean, not every single start, but you can usually pencil him in for 6. The only thing that's holding me off is this Rays offense. Just obviously they're not very good. And today they had a Christopher Morel home run in the first, and then I think they ended up tacking one on later or whatever, but it's just really not impressive. And this Cubs team has shown the ability at home to put up multiple runs in certain innings. So again, price rise, it would only be the Rays. I would probably need a little bit more on the bone to actually bet them than plus 100 or even money or whatever it is. But yeah, it would only be the Rays for me. Next game on the board. Oh, and speaking of the guy who I don't know who it is, but whoever said they fade the team with that's wearing the same
we got to track that now.
Kyle's wearing. Yeah, but he said he's 4-0 and he's about to win the Rockies tonight, or hopefully. So if that's true, congratulations to you. That was awesome. I even texted Kyle about that. I thought that was a really funny comment.
I'm gonna go check and see what hat I wore during the recording today. I'll go check it out. I'll report back.
Next game on the board, Baltimore on the road in Toronto. Sagano on the bump for Baltimore. Max Scherzer on the mound for Toronto. Really, really heavy price to pay with Toronto, who do you even feel like they're playing that good of baseball right now? I mean, it feels like they're I don't want to say they're going through the motions, but at the same, I mean, because they're not like they're not losing a whole bunch of games, but they're also not like winning games. I mean, they're like playing like 500-ish baseball. Do you actually trust Max Scherzer at a big plus price? I don't know if I do. Or I'm sorry, a big juice price.
I would feel a lot more comfortable if Bichette was sitting in the top of this lineup. This lineup looks a lot different without him in there. They have two catchers that both are pretty decent, but I always like to see Alejandro Kirk in that lineup. He rests a lot. I assume he'll be going tomorrow. It looks like he caught Scherzer for most of his start, so I would probably pencil him in there. Sugano has not looked sharp here recently at all. 3 earned runs to the Dodgers, didn't make it out of the third inning, didn't make it out of the fourth versus the Giants. 7 earned runs. Boston tagged him for 4. 6 out of his last 10 games, he's given up more than 3 earned runs. I think the Blue Jays find a way to get some runs off him. I kind of wanted to get to this over, but the Orioles have not been getting to right-handed pitching, and Scherzer's off 3 bad games in a row. Did pitch into the 6th versus Minnesota, so it's not a terrible start there, but 4 innings pitched and 4 in the third versus the Yankees and Brewers, gave up 4 earned runs to both of those teams. I think he can kind of get right here versus this Orioles lineup. It'd either be an over for me or Blue Jays -1. I think once we get into the bullpen, I still have more trust for the guys in this Blue Jays back end, but I mean, it's not enough for me to really pull the trigger at this point.
Yeah, you can put up over for me. There's just too many uncertainties in this game for me. I agree that I think that this should be a spot where Max Scherzer can bounce back after 3 bad starts, but at the same time, I'm not laying that juice to find out. But like Spoon said, Baltimore offensively hasn't been great. Sagano's been up and down. I mean, really up and really down at times. It's like he has like 3 good starts, then he has 5 bad starts, and then he finds it again for a couple. So, and it's not like this Toronto team is lighting up the board over the last week. I know like over their last 10 games or so, they put up some runs against Cincinnati and whatnot in one of the games versus New York. But over the last week in Houston and the last couple of games in New York, not really so much. So it'd be over a pass. I looked at the weather in Toronto. It's going to be like 65 degrees. So I doubt that the window it's open or the roof is open. So there's nothing even there. So it would be over a pass, but emphasis on the pass.
The graphics glitched out and they gave Spoon an extra half run. I gotta reset the graph. I don't know why I did that, but for some reason it robbed Spoon of a half run.
Post is just sharper.
It is what it is. Yeah. Next game on the board, Pittsburgh on the road in Washington. Bubba Chandler, Andrew Alvarez. I bet Pittsburgh in the first 5. Sorry to make you type sauce. Pittsburgh first 5 on the money line, +110 on Bet 365. Don't really understand this price. Both these teams are really, really bad. This Alvarez kid for Washington has been actually somewhat decent in his first 2 starts. It's not an absolute fade of him. But the Pirates have been somewhat decent versus left-handed pitching, and I think that they have a huge starting pitching advantage with Bubba Chandler and company on the mound. So I don't know if they get an opener for Bubba Chandler or not, but regardless, he's going to be in there in the second inning even if he's not, +110 sauce. But at the same time, as long as we're getting 3 or 4 innings of Bubba Chandler in this, I think there's a huge starting pitching advantage. So I think both teams are, like I said, equally bad. But if we're getting a guy like Bubba Chandler just through 5 at a nice plus price, I already bet this. I'm willing to take it. So Spoon, your thoughts?
I think it's a really weird price for Bubba Chandler in the first 5. It's a ton of respect to the Washington Nationals and Andrew Alvarez. When I looked at that first 5 price, I expected the Pirates to cost more than they did full game by at least 10 cents or so, not be basically the same. I'm leaning Washington full game. I was honestly looking at Washington first 5 too. I think Andrew Alvarez is a really good young pitcher. He handled that Miami lineup, which I put in the same kind of style as Pittsburgh right now. They're definitely not getting to lefties. 29th in baseball in the full season, last 14 days, 26th in baseball. Just not a good lineup to expect runs out of. But Bubba Chandler, I mean, he's one of the top prospects in baseball right now. If we look back to his minor league splits, it looks like he got touched worse by lefties than he did by righties. And that's reversed so far in the major leagues. But I think as time ticks by, I think those splits will kind of come back to normal, and I think lefties will hit him harder. So I don't think this is a great lineup for him to pitch against. I'm looking at Washington and Nationals full game. I haven't gotten there yet, but I think they also have the bullpen advantage once you get past that first 5.
1 sec, I'm resetting the graphics and I'll get that up.
Yeah, you're good. I can't really argue with Washington full game, especially considering how bad they've been. So I think that this is a very, very big bounce back opportunity for Bubba Chandler, who kind of got his teeth kicked in last time out against Milwaukee. Next game on the board, Yankees on the road in Boston. Yankees were $3.99 today. Tomorrow or tonight or this morning, whenever you're watching this, Max Fried on the mound versus Brian Bayo. I don't understand why we're getting the Yankees at a cheap price again. I feel honestly the same way as, all these Boston starters have been pretty damn good. But I think that Max Fried has got his swagger back. What are your thoughts, Spoon?
I've been on the Yankees the last 2 days. I think I'm probably going to be on the Yankees 3 days in a row. You can is it minus 130, minus 135 with the Yankees right now?
I have 135. But I will say I'm not in a rush to actually bet it. I haven't bet them yet. I have 135 circled on Bet365. But we even saw today that line move down a little bit. Some sharp money came in on Boston for sure.
So I expect money to come in on Boston. Brian Bayo's pitched really well in the course of his career versus the New York Yankees. Seen him twice this season. I think he's pitched into the 7th both times. Boston's won both of those games. Really just quality starts from him. So there is a little bit of a question there, but Brian Bayo, he can give up runs in this Yankee lineup. I don't think they're going to see a lot of pitchers 3 times in a season and just get absolutely blanked 3 games. So I'd be on the Yankees at this price, and I expect it to come down more. I'll probably be on the Yankees tomorrow at like minus 115, 120 if it gets to that point.
Yeah, I will be on the Yankees as well. I'm kind of like the president, or like I feel like I was the beginning of the presidency of getting onto Brian Bayo's good fan club, and I continue to hold my seat there. But this isn't a fade of like necessarily Bayo himself. But if we are talking about him, if there is a side of the plate that he struggled with, it is lefty bats. And I'm well aware that he has pitched well against this Yankees team so far this year, but you're going to have Grisham, Bellinger, Rice, Jazz, Austin Wells, and McMahon all batting from the left-hand side. And I really think that the way that the Yankees have been playing lately, it makes me want to continue to bet them anytime that we're going to get them under 140. And now you're getting Max Fried on the mound, who, yes, we all know was terrible for a while, but got right against this Boston team at home, 2 weeks ago, where he went 6 innings scoreless and then pitched great against Washington, Houston, and Toronto. Houston and Toronto, both playoff teams, are most likely both playoff teams. Worry about Houston, obviously, with the playoffs. But regardless, he's pitched well against teams that should be going into the playoffs. So I guess I really don't understand the price. I know that Boston hasn't been a terrible baseball team this year. But at the same time, they're 6-4 their last 10. They're 13-7 their last 20. Added a loss to both of those after tonight if you want. But, they're also playing teams like Oakland and Arizona and Cleveland and Pittsburgh and stuff. So, again, they should be winning those games. And I know that the Yankees' overall record isn't great either, but they're also playing teams like Detroit and Toronto and Houston. So, I just think that there's completely mismatch over the last week and a half, 10 days or so. I bet the Yankees. I haven't bet the Yankees. I will be betting the Yankees. I just want to watch the line to see what it does. But guarantee the Yankees will be on my card tomorrow. Next game on the board, Detroit on the road in Miami. Charlie Morton, Jansen Junk. I don't really have anything to go off of this, but Detroit just got embarrassed tonight with Scooble on the mound. You're getting Charlie Morton at a cheap price. I kind of just want to bet Detroit at a cheap price because they're just that much better of a team. What are your thoughts, Spoon?
I kind of want to just go to this over. We look at these two offenses versus bullpens. They're both top 10 in baseball over the last few weeks, top 10 basically over the full season with these guys. That's nothing new with Miami. And if we look at the starters on the mound, Jansen Junk, his last 8 games hasn't gone out of start and given up less than 3 earned runs. 6 earned runs in 2 of those games, 4 earned runs in a couple. I think the Tigers, like you said, after getting embarrassed today, come out swinging the bats. I think they get runs off Jansen Junk. There's a bunch of lefties in this lineup, and he struggles a lot more with lefties than he does righties. About 0.4 points split between his whip to righties and lefties, 1.32 to lefties. I think Tigers definitely get to him. And then Charlie Morton, that curveball's been amazing his whole career, but Miami's the top 10 team in baseball last 30 days at hitting curveballs. I think they find a way to get runs off him. This guy's given up 14 runs in his last 11 2/3 innings pitched. So I think this is a spot where just an over 9 is going to probably find its way to my card. I haven't bet it yet, though.
Yeah, I couldn't argue that. I'm probably going to bet Detroit, guys. Look, I'm not trying to make a case that I think that Charlie Morton has been pitching great, but he has definitely shown flashes of that this year. I know his last couple starts at home, or I'm sorry, his last 3 starts, 2 of them at home, 1 of them on the road, wasn't great. But his previous 4 before that were all pretty decent. In his last 3 road starts, I mean, he got hit up in Oakland or Sacramento in that AAA park, but pitched well on the road in Philadelphia and pitched on the road in Minnesota. And like he talked about, Jansen Junk really struggles with lefty bats, and he really isn't going deep into games, and he's given up runs. So even if Charlie Morton were to give up a couple, I think that he'd be even with Jansen Junk, and I think that we have a pretty decent bullpen advantage and offensive advantage with the Tigers. So to get them around that 130 price, I don't know if I can actually pass that up. A little bit weird, but again, Charlie Morton hasn't been that good, but the Tigers are so much better than the Marlins. I don't think it really matters. I think they're almost 20 games better than the Marlins. So anyway, next game on the board, Texas on the road in Citi Field. Man, did Texas show out for DeGrom tonight, putting up 6 in the first. I don't know if you can count on the Texas offense doing that again, but I don't know if I can actually pick a side on this one, but what about an over 8.5, Spoon? What are your thoughts on that?
I have a couple things circled for this game. That is one of them.
Right.
Patrick Corbin pitched really well in his last start. I think the Mets, who have been just really killing lefties lately, can continue to do that versus Patrick Corbin. Been getting runs off some really good pitchers that I put a class above him, like Christopher Sanchez and Andrew Abbott. I don't have any questions if they score runs. You got the rookie on the mound for the Mets, Sprout. Didn't pitch amazing in his first game, gave up 3 earned runs, but it was in Great American. Pretty tough ballpark there to judge anything by. He's going to be in a much more friendly pitcher environment here, so I wouldn't be shocked to see him pitch well. So I was also looking at just maybe isolating it to the Mets team total over 4.5. It's a lot of runs for a home team in Citi Field, so I haven't been able to make the call yet. That price is about 115 sauce.
Yeah, it would only be over for me. I 100% agree with everything you said about the Mets. The Mets have been really good versus left-handed pitching all year long. And Corbin has kind of turned back to a pumpkin. He had a really good start. He has had a couple decent home starts, but the road has not really been kind to him over the last month and a half or so. And like he said, it's going to be a significant step down in class from guys like Ranger Suarez, Andrew Abbott, Luzardo, Sanchez, Mackenzie Gore. The guys that the Mets have recently faced as far as left-handers are concerned. The Sprout kid, or however you say his last name, I'm sorry. Another one of these young kids that the Mets have high hopes for. I don't know if you can count on Texas scoring, again, 6 runs in the first or another 8, 9 runs tonight. But this is a AAA arm versus a Texas team that's still in the playoff hunt. That AL West is, I don't want to say it's wide open, but the wild card is. So I don't see them rolling over either. I still see them putting up runs. I think the Mets do the heavy lifting, but it would only be 8.5, over 8.5 for me tomorrow. The weather in Citi Field isn't fantastic, but it's not like anything bad. It's only going to be like 70, 75 degrees, but double-digit winds blowing out to like left center or so. So that does help, obviously, with the ball traveling. So over 8.5 or pass. Next game on the board, Kansas City on the road in Philadelphia. Ryan Berger on the mound for the Royals. Taijuan Walker on the mound for the Phillies. This one's kind of easy for me. It's over or pass, but I really can't do it. Ryan Berger has pitched really, really well for the Royals this year. I think that I've talked about it on this show ad nauseum. A guy that came over from the Padres in the Freddie Fermin trade. They didn't want to let him go. He finally had a bad start his last time out. But prior to that, he had been really, really good. I just don't know what to expect from this Phillies offense. I know that some guys had the day off today. They're not 100% right or whatever, but it's really been hit or miss. And like I said, I was on the over today, and I felt I got really, really lucky. I mean, Harrison Bader had a crazy day. Bryson Stott had a meaningless two-run home run late. But it's the Phillies at home in Citizens Bank with decent weather. As much as I love Ryan Berger, it wouldn't be surprising to me if he gave up a few runs. And then Taijuan Walker has turned into the pumpkin that we all know and love. So has a couple over his last 10 starts. He has probably 2 or 3 really good ones, and everything else is mediocre at best. So it's just what you're going to get out of this Royals lineup, and that's the question I don't know if I can answer. So it would only be over for me, but I don't know if I can actually bet it. Spoon, your thoughts?
I looked at that over as well. Ryan Bergert's been a pitcher that I've trusted since he's come over from Kansas City. To say he had a bad start in his last one is probably an understatement. 14 base runners, 8 earned runs. That was a wild game to watch. Just the ball coming out of his hand, it didn't even look like him on the mound. I expect him to bounce back in some fashion, but he was having trouble with all those lefties in the Cleveland lineup after seeing a few righty-heavy lineups in LA and the White Sox. And the Phillies have a ton of lefties to get to him too. I'm looking at this Phillies -1 spot. I haven't gotten there yet. I don't trust Kansas City's lineup at this point. Versus right-handed pitching the last 2 weeks, they're almost dead last in baseball. Full season, those numbers stay true. They haven't been hitting on the road. I know Taijuan Walker hasn't looked sharp recently, but he's faced a lot of good lineups. Miami's found ways to put runs on a ton of teams. Milwaukee and the New York Mets, both really good offenses that I put above Kansas City right now. He pitched decent to Washington in his second game after seeing him for a second time in a week. He pitched into the 7th inning the first time there. Shut down Cincinnati, shut down Baltimore, shut down the White Sox. So I think he has the ability to get back on track. He's got an ERA right around 4 on the full season, and that's pretty impressive when you have to pitch in Citizens Bank ballpark. I think this is Phillies -1 for me. I can't get there with Kansas City.
Yeah, it would only be the Phillies for me as well. I think there's a reason that they're heavy favorites. They're just so good at home. Next game on the board, White Sox on the road in Cleveland. Davis Martin, Parker Messick. Cleveland's a heavy favorite, though, as much as I'd like to bet Cleveland here. What are your thoughts, Spoon?
What do you make of this price? I saw the pitching matchup, was pretty excited. I was like, I'd probably get to bet Messick at 135, 140, and I looked, it was almost 170. Absolutely crazy. I can't get there with the White Sox right now. Cleveland is playing good baseball. Parker Messick has pitched really amazing out there right now. I'm not in the business of laying runs with Cleveland's offense because they've been bad. I think I'd be under or nothing at this price, but I think Cleveland wins this game. This price is 25 cents more expensive than I would have expected it to be. So just that under in Cleveland in any fashion you want to use it.
It would only be Cleveland for me. Like he said, Parker Messick's been really good, and Cleveland is starting to play really good baseball right now. 7-3 their last 10. But there's a kind of a big but behind that. The White Sox are sneaky hot right now too. I mean, they cast their season win total over for us last week. They're 8-2 their last 10. They're playing really good baseball. These kids are just kind of playing free. And I mean, Davis Martin hasn't been terrible. I don't think that they win the game tomorrow, but I just wanted to point that out. I mean, he's essentially going out there and giving you 5 or 6 innings of 2 or 3 run baseball. And for the White Sox this year and Davis Martin, that's pretty damn acceptable. So I agree with the under. It looks like you can get 8s right now. They're moving down to 7.5 shortly. And it actually looks like Cleveland's taking money here. So it would only be Cleveland for me. I don't think there's any chance I pay 160 or better, but it would only be Cleveland.
Who's betting Cleveland at 168?
Parlay bettors.
I don't think parlay bettors are moving the market.
I know. Shout out to Mr. Brandon Fott. Shout out to Pablo Lopez. That over was free today. Now we have Arizona on the road in Minnesota again with Ryan Nelson versus Joe Ryan on the mound. Kind of want to play Arizona at this price. What are your thoughts, Spoon?
Joe Ryan has not looked right his last 4 starts. 5 earned runs versus the Athletics here at home. 6 earned runs versus Toronto. Granted, it was on the road. He saw the Padres at home, went 7 innings pitched, but gave up 6 base runners. And I mean, that Padres offense right now has really been struggling to put runs on the board versus any decent pitchers.
That counts.
So I don't make a ton about that. Kansas City, he didn't make it out of the 2nd inning in his last start. I have it circled that I want to fade Joe Ryan on the road, though, and this is a home start, so it gives me a little caution before I get there. Also, if I'm going to back Arizona full game, then I have to deal with their bullpen as well, and that bullpen is one of the worst in baseball. Nothing I really want to trust at this point in the season. 27th ERA, full season, 23rd in ERA last couple of weeks. Ryan Nelson, this is a guy I do want to back versus this Twins lineup, though. Twins aren't hitting fastballs. Ryan Nelson throws a fastball 65% of the time. I think it's a good matchup for him. Maybe you just take the plus price there in the first 5 because it's overvalued with Joe Ryan, who we think maybe he's getting tired. Like that arm fatigue sets in for a lot of pitchers at this point in the season. I haven't figured out a way to actually get there, but Arizona in some fashion.
I think I'm actually going to be betting Arizona. I 100% agree that it's really hard to get there with their bullpen and how bad they've been. Obviously, you're not going to get any argument with me out of that. But I will say that, I mean, Saul Frank, who's like one of their closers by committee or whatever, is 2 of the last 3. But everybody else is good to go in that bullpen. Not that that means a ton, but at the same time, if we're worried, if for me, I feel like the starting pitching is kind of a wash, just because even if Joe Ryan does pitch well, I don't think he's going to go deep into this game. And you have a Minnesota bullpen that I don't think is that much better than the Arizona bullpen in general. And you have Sands, who's going to be on back-to-back days. That's their closer. Funderbunk, who's their setup man. And yes, that's his real last name. He went today. Tonkin went today. So all 3 of their major arms went today against Arizona. Obviously, that game was back and forth, and the Twins won that game. But I think that we have, if you want to call the starting pitching a wash or a small edge to Minnesota, that's fine. But I still think that we have a wash with the offenses, maybe a little bit of a lean to Arizona. And with the bullpen situation, given how it is with Sands and Funderbunk working today, I think that there's a little bit of advantage to Arizona as well. So to get them at a nice plus price, I'm going to watch this just because I know that Joe Ryan and Minnesota hasn't been playing bad. So maybe they take money, but Arizona plus 120, plus 125. I'm almost positive I bet that tomorrow.
I'll probably be with you on that.
Next game on the board.
By the way, for the guy that was fading the hats I was wearing Atlanta Hawks today. So I don't know what you do with that.
You just save it, pocket game 1.
Opening night Atlanta NBA. WNBA team.
Remember that one time on 9-12 when Sauce. That's funny.
Oh, well, speaking of which, it's the Braves.
I know. Astros on the road in Atlanta. Okay, how does this price make sense? Does the market truly believe that Bryce Elder's back, or Bryce Elder is actually good because he's had 3 decent starts? I mean, I've already bet Houston, so I'll just come out and say that right now. Houston, I got them at, let me double check. I guess it doesn't really matter, but Houston minus 130. I don't love the fact that Houston exploded offensively today, because I don't think you're really going to get that a lot from them. But at the same time, I think that we're getting Houston at a little bit of a discounted price with how well that Bryce Elder has pitched recently and how not great, I guess, that the Astros have played. I mean, the Astros have barely been a 500 baseball team for the last month, but they're still in the middle of a division race, and you have your ace on the mound who, again, had one bad start against Colorado at home, but over his last 7 starts, the other 6 of them were great. Road starts in Texas, Detroit, Yankees, and Boston. 12, 17, call it 25 innings, give or take, only 3 runs on the road. And you have Bryce Elder on the mound who, sure, let's just give Bryce Elder some flowers, some credit, whatever the hell you want to give Bryce Elder. He pitched well against the Cubs twice, the Mets, who have seemed to be kind of can't find themselves right now, and he did look really well on the road in the bank. That's a really big start for him. I'll give him credit for that. But, I mean, do we really believe that Bryce Elder is going to be Bryce Elder that's going out there 6 or 7 innings of 1-run baseball? I think not. I think this is a way, way too cheap of a price with Houston. Obviously, Houston destroyed them today. They didn't have to use any of their major bullpen arms. I think that you get Hunter Brown for 6 or 7 innings of 1, maybe 2-run baseball, and the Astros should win this game. Spoon, your thoughts?
Yeah, I really agree with you. The price kind of threw me off. I was expecting to see this maybe minus 140, 145 at least. I went back and looked at Bryce Elder's last start. He played against the Cubs for a second game in a row, and Shota Imanaga was on the mound. He was priced, I think, minus 105 in that game. So the market is respecting Bryce Elder right now. The Braves won that game. And, I mean, he's put together 4 good starts in a row now versus the Phillies, the Mets, and the Chicago Cubs, offenses that are in the same level as this Houston Astros team. So I think I can make sense of why this price is where it's at. Obviously, the Astros on the road have been one of the worst teams in baseball. Last 30 days, they're 26th WRC plus. They haven't been destroying righties, but that offense, I mean, it's still getting healthy, getting everybody back in it this time of season. I don't trust Bryce Elder to continue to be able to string together good starts. I probably find myself on Houston here very soon. I was looking at the first 5 versus full game splits, and the Astros are like almost minus 150 in the first 5. So they definitely respect Hunter Brown. So what that tells me is the Houston bullpen is probably the culprit of what they're worried about. And I fully get that. Brian Abreu, 2-pitch guy, hasn't been able to find the strike zone with that slider the last few times I've seen him on the mound. It's been disgusting to watch. And he's a guy they need to be able to pitch well if they're going to win ball games. So I have a little bit of hesitation, but I really like the Astros at this price. I would have this 145, so 130 is a great price.
100% agreed. Next game on the board, St. Louis on the road in Milwaukee. Sonny Gray on the mound versus the Miz.
By the way, the hat fade guy has spoken. Astros is going for 5-0. The hat fade guy. PNF is his name.
I love it. Milwaukee could lock up a playoff spot today. I think they had to win, the Giants had to lose, and somebody else. So I'm not positive, but it's very possible that Milwaukee clinched a playoff berth and or the division tonight. Not positive on how the semantics work of that, but probably. Anyway,
will they ever lose a Quinn Priester start? Like, he needs to be their game 1 starter.
Oh, I pray to God he's their game 1 starter in the divisional round. When they lose, it's just
get rocked.
So glorious. It's going to be so glorious. Like I said, Sonny Gray on the mound for St. Louis, the Miz on the mound for Milwaukee. It would be St. Louis or St. Louis team total over for me. You don't have to type the team total over, but it would only be St. Louis for me. I know that Milwaukee's really, really good, but I've said this many times on this show, and the kid continues to prove me right. Mizorowski ain't that good, guys. I know that the name is there. I know we got all the publicity with the All-Star game and all that stuff, but the fact of the matter is the numbers don't lie. And every time that this kid goes out there, he seems to give up runs. So, yes, I'm well aware that he had 1 good start on the road in Pittsburgh. Congratulations. Let's see him do it 2 times in a row because he hasn't shown the ability to do that yet. So I know that St. Louis is bad. Sonny Gray on the road is bad, or Sonny Gray is just bad in general, in my opinion. But again, I don't know what Milwaukee's going to be playing for tomorrow. It it would only be the Cardinals for me. I probably want to see what this line does because I still think that people are going to bet Milwaukee and Mizorowski. But if I get the Cardinals at like 150, 155, I probably pull the trigger. Spoon?
Yeah, so I had a lot of questions about Mizorowski coming into this season, but I think this is the perfect lineup for him to be able to handle, just like the Pirates, like a lineup that's close to what you'll see in the AAA level. Sonny Gray, 7 of his last 10 starts, he's given up more than 3 earned runs. This Milwaukee Brewers lineup is one of the better lineups they've seen recently. I fully expect them to be able to get to him. He's a ground ball guy. Mason Wynn, believe injured, will not be in the lineup here. That's their shortstop, really important piece to that team, especially for a ground ball guy. You want a shortstop you really trust there. I can only get to Milwaukee here. I haven't played this game. I also looked at the over, but
bad pick.
It's really pitcher-friendly weather. Not a Mizorowski fan. Went on Soapbox at the beginning, said I thought he was probably going to be a reliever. That's what the Milwaukee coaches thought, because he only had one pitch he could throw for a strike in the minors. But he's found a way to be pretty effective against bad lineups, and I think he can probably do it versus the Cardinals, who are one of the worst lineups in baseball coming down the stretch. If you look at their spreadsheets, everything's in red versus right-handed pitching last 30 days, 28th in baseball. On the road, 27th. I mean, there's no way to cut it where the Cardinals are good. I wouldn't talk you off the plus money with them, but if I was forced to make a bet, it would be on the Milwaukee money line.
No, I feel you. I was just saying there is no chance in hell that I would be in that spot laying that juice with Mizorowski. But hey, what do I know? People in the comments tell me to go to bed. Your game analysis isn't 100. I'm terrible.
How does that make it different than any other day?
I really don't know.
By the way, the Grizzly is in the comments. He's going to talk about the big North Dakota-Montana game in just a moment.
Kenny, I love you. I love you. Rockies, next game on the board. Rockies on the road in San Diego. Bradley Baylock, Dylan Cease this time. I'm well aware. I talked last night about Dylan Cease. He didn't end up starting. It was JP Sears. They pushed all the starters back for an extra day of rest. Same thing applies today. It would only be the Rockies for me at this price. Rockies or under. This Padres team is absolutely terrible right now. There's no other way to put it. Dylan Cease shouldn't be a 300 favorite versus the JV team, the high school down the road from me. And I truly believe that with my heart of hearts. I haven't ever really been a Dylan Cease guy. Yo, you laugh, but I am dead serious, dude. I get that this guy can throw a no-hitter at any time, but he can also give you 3 or 4 innings of really bad baseball and a lot of mistakes. And Spoon, you know as well as I do, I mean, he's only got a couple pitches, so if he's not locating anything, that's all that split and all that stuff, and the knuckle change, it means diddly poo if he can't locate anything else. So it would only be Colorado for me. The San Diego Padres should not be this big of a favorite versus anybody. Take it away.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. This is way too much juice to be laying with the Padres or really any Major League Baseball team. Like, when you figure out the odds of minus 300, the amount of times they have to win, it just doesn't make sense. These are all professional baseball players. Dylan Cease is a few years removed from being a really good pitcher. I mean, I think 3 years ago he finished 2nd or 3rd in the Cy Young race. But he had 3 pitches back then. He's become a 2-pitch guy. It's just that slider and 4-seam you ever see. And if he can't locate that slider, I mean, he's just throwing a mediocre fastball over the heart of the plate trying to get strikes, and that turns ugly versus decent hitters. But the Rockies don't have a ton of decent hitters. They look all right in cores sometimes, but I mean, this is a really pitcher-friendly park. And as you said it, these Padres bats really aren't hitting. I like that under 8.5. I can't get there with the Colorado money line here, but I do like Cease to be able to come out here and pitch well to this Rockies team. What's just keeping me off it is he just saw this Rockies team. So he only has 2 tricks in the bag right now. So maybe they find a way to get to him, but strongly into the under.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, Mr. Westers, you are right. I still think the Padres can definitely win the World Series. Next game on the board.
You said that with zero conviction.
No, it doesn't matter. That. No, I do believe that. It doesn't matter until we get to October. I mean, the Billionaires Boys Club doesn't have a bullpen. I mean, if there's one thing that we have, it's the bullpen advantage versus everybody. So
yeah, it's working
out.
So
do you expect Cease not to start a playoff game for them? Like
sorry,
looking
what?
at their pitching situation. Looking at their pitching situation, what do you have for your starters now? Is Cease going to be in that list?
Yeah, he'll be there, and he'll go. I don't know. He'll do his 1, maybe 2 times through the order, and that's pretty much it. But as long as King is there, I mean everything. I mean, we should King and Pavetta is going to be there. You guys, I've tried to tell you guys. A lot of people tune in this show. Randy Vasquez is legit. And everybody's gonna roll their eyes and make little faces like that. But again, this guy just continues to go out there and pitch. So give me the GOAT Vasquez and Dylan Cease each 2 times through the lineup, and then let the bullpen do its thing, and then you Darvish clean up everything else. I think we're gonna be all right. I truly believe that.
That's insane that you want Cease and Randy Vasquez.
I don't want. I'm
playoff
just
games.
saying that's
Moneyball approach.
No, it's just King and Pavetta are the number 2. Are 1 and 2. So if those guys pitch well, we're going to be all right. And then it's Vasquez, Cease, and Darvish, and then the bullpen, and that's where they have to figure everything else out. So if Vasquez and Cease can go through their 1 or 2 times through the order, and then Darvish can be at least a veteran and keep us in the game, everything's going to be all right, and we're going to have a chance to win. But if the starting pitching is even average, we're dead in the water. It's October baseball, baby. I can't freaking wait. Anyway. Next game on the board. Did the Dodgers lose yet? No, it's in extras. Dodgers on the road in San Francisco. Clayton Kershaw on the mound versus Logan Webb. Max Muncy's made out of glass. He left the game again today. Got hit by a pitch. Who knows if he's going to be back in the lineup tomorrow. But that's again, I think that was a huge lift for them to get him back, or you would assume. And then for him to leave again. I don't know his status, but if he's not in the lineup again tomorrow, I kind of want to play on the Giants. I'm kind of curious what your thoughts are on this one, Spoon.
This total's really low here. Clayton Kershaw has pitched really well this season. I can't poke a lot of holes in it. 3.18 ERA on the road, 3.27 ERA overall. Giants aren't tattooing lefties like they are righties. They have gotten to some of the guys recently. They got 5 off Boyd, 3 off Imanaga, but Trevor Rogers blanked him. The Kyle Freeland start means nothing because he was out of there so quick. That was the start he got ejected, but I think Clayton Kershaw can pitch pretty well to this Giants lineup. I think they've been overperforming a little bit of late, and Logan Webb at home's been pretty much automatic. 2.77 ERA at home on the full season. 1 earned run versus Arizona last time at home. Pitched into the 7th versus the Cubs. They got a few runs off him, but pitched into the 7th versus Tampa Bay. 0 earned runs. 7th versus San Diego. They ended up getting 4 earned runs off him, but I think he comes out there and pitches well. I lean to this under. What's keeping me off it is just such a low number. I get it's Oracle, but I don't trust this Dodgers offense right now, and I think this Giants team is just overperforming. I don't trust it to continue.
I agree that they're overperforming, but they are performing, and that's one thing that the Dodgers haven't been able to do. It would only be San Francisco for me. It's not. I haven't betted or anything. I don't know if I will. I don't know what to think of Clayton Kershaw on the road. His last 3 starts, nothing bad. Colorado, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, pretty much giving you 5 innings of 2 or 3 run baseball. Again, it's nothing terrible. And like Spoon said, it's not like the Giants have been killing left-handed pitching at all. But I do think that with that total being low, that it tells you that both of these teams are probably going to struggle offensively. And if you're going to tell me that Logan Webb pitches well in this game, probably means that he's probably going to go 7 or 8 innings. I know that he hasn't done that in a few starts, but these are the type of games that San Francisco needs right now. San Francisco's not dead in the water yet either. They're very close, but these are the types of games that they have to win. So I think that this is a cheap price for a reason. If you were trying to bet LA, I'd be curious to see how this money comes in, but if I get plus 110 or better, I'd probably make a little bit of a play on the Giants. So I know I've said that for like 4 or 5 games, but this line movement the last week or so has been kind of, you never really know where it's going to go. It hasn't been as easy to read. So I just want to pay attention. Next game on the board, Angels on the road in Seattle. Mitch Ferris, Brian Wu on the board. You can put Seattle up for me. I don't think they lose, but I'm not paying that price. So Yeah, you can put up Seattle for me. The Angels are dead. I tried to get on them last night. They took the game into the 12th, played the over tonight, and they have been essentially lifeless all game. So it's 2-1 right now with 2 outs, I think, in the top of the 9th. So it would only be for Seattle for me. I don't think there's a chance they lose, but I'm probably not going to bet it. Spoon?
Yeah, I would agree. I don't really think there's a chance they lose this game tomorrow. I think Brian Wu comes out there and pitches really well. He's seen the Angels a few times this season. Last time was on the road. 6 innings pitched, just 2 earned runs. I think he can pitch really well versus this Angels lineup tomorrow. Ferris on the other side, a little bit more of a question mark, but here in this ballpark, I think a 7.5 under, it's not too big. You're probably relying on Seattle to score all of these runs if you're trying to get to the over, but I don't think Seattle's offense is that potent. This is a spot where I could only be on the under. Gross money line to have to pay with Seattle. I guess if you had another spot you were really in favor of, you could do one of those donkey 2-leg parlays, but I think the under is just the only way I could look at this game.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
someone just said in the comments they're taking North Dakota. It's getting Grizz fired up.
And to Brandon Gregory, Kershaw's 10-2, blah, blah, blah. When's his last bad start? 2 starts ago against Pittsburgh. He got shelled and walked 4 guys.
Could you parlay Seattle money line with the Grizzlies?
Oh, what's the price on the Grizz?
-2.5 against North Dakota. It's a big game. And
Oh.
Grizz is in the comments acting like he's not worried. We all know he's scared shitless after all those turnovers in the opener.
He said little ass Bobcats also.
Grizz is fired up, man.
Okay, Kenny. All right. Next game on the board, last game on the board for baseball, then the Grizz will take us away. Reds on the road in Sacramento. Hunter Green on the mound versus Luis Severino. You want to play under with me? Isn't that gross?
It's 9.5 right now.
I know.
It looks like it's probably going to come down to 9 as well.
Just
Severino at home has not been. He's got a 6.34 ERA at home.
I know, but recently he has been better at home. So it's not like terrible.
Yep.
I think maybe
his last 2 home starts. I mean, he's lived on the road here recently, but his last 2 home starts do look really good versus Toronto, and Seattle only gave up 1 earned run to both of those teams. Hunter Green, I'm not really in the business of fading. I think he's probably a good pitcher for this park. He doesn't put a ton of balls in plays, and he's pitching just really great since coming back from injury. His last 2 starts has pitched into the 7th inning versus Toronto and the Mets, only giving up 1 earned run to both of those teams. I don't hate that under at all. And like a ballpark like this, a 9.5 that's going to close as a 9 is definitely a pretty telling total. Yeah, you can put me up there for that under. When I was capping this card, these lines were kind of slow to come out right here, so I hadn't gotten to anywhere yet. This Oakland bullpen's kind of overperforming my expectations for him in the second half of the season too. So the more I look at this, I do like this under, and I don't think there's going to be 9.5s available tomorrow morning when we get up. I think this is going to be 9s.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. I know that Severino's been hit or miss at home at times this year, but over the last 3 or 4, it hasn't been so bad. But more than that, it's just that neither one of these teams can really hit and hit consistently. So it's just really, and then Hunter Green on the other side has been really, really good at pretty much all times this year. So it would honestly think this is going to be like a 3-2, 2-1, whatever type of game in the 6th, 7th inning. And if these bullpens come in and just get annihilated and the total blows up, I guess so be it. But I 100% agree. I think that we bet this 9.5 tonight. We wake up to 9s and just hold our breath tomorrow. But yeah, I'm in on the under. I'm about to bet it right now. We go.
I'll play it with you
off the air.
All right, so tomorrow night there's no baseball show. Spoon, are you doing your Sunday morning show at Pub?
Nope. We finished up with NFL season here. Just the big focus on football over there.
Yeah, so there won't be a baseball show. Toast has a family, whatever, something. So yeah, no baseball show tomorrow night. Let's kick it over to the Grizz, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern.
Have a good night, guys.
Go Grizz.
Welcome back to the Grizzly Den, where we will be previewing the game of the week in the FCS as the number 5 Montana Grizzlies host the number 16th ranked North Dakota Fighting Hawks. So before we get to that, we're going to have to review what happened. We're 1-0. We had 3 turnovers. We had 8 penalties. We still dispatched of Central Washington 42-17. The good news, we ran all over them. 198 yards from what I told you, the best running back in the country in the FCS, with Eli Gilman going for 198 yards, 3 touchdowns, 54-yard touchdown run on his first touch of the season was a beautiful thing. The defense struggled with the run early. Overall, despite what stats you might be looking at, they dominated. The Grizz dominated the second half on defense. The passing game was a little bit inconsistent. Our 3 turnovers, also one was at the goal line. So all in all, it was an uneven game, but a 21-17 turned into 42-17. As we get to this week, we need to show you guys who are just joined the bandwagon the hatred that you must have for the Bobcats. You have a team that has lost 3 in a row. You have people that have actually infiltrated Kyle Kirms and the Sauce Network. They call themselves faders. They're really just embarrassed to call themselves Cat fans. When you lose 3 in a row and 2 of them are moral victories. Heck, this week they lost to South Dakota State in the litter box, in their home litter box. Couldn't get the job done because they're just not that good. They'll go and play teams that were ranked 50 and 100 spots below Central Washington with these non-scholarship FCS schools. That's more their level. But anyway, let's get on to North Dakota. What do we got with North Dakota? We got a team. I want Sauce to look this up. Look it up. Has any team ever finished the season with 5 straight losses a year ago? Come into the next season unranked, lose, and become ranked. Well, it helped them with North Dakota when they beat big bad Kansas State, who couldn't even take Army out. I mean, Army did, play Tarleton State tough, so I guess they're that for Army. But come on. They went to Kansas State, lost. Oh, they played them close. So I know other schools like moral victories. But anyway, let's get back to the preview. They got 4 returning offensive linemen, but word around the campfire is they do lose one of their offensive starters on the line. That could be big. This is part 1 of our revenge tour. These guys went 5-7 last year, but they beat our mighty Grizz in North Dakota. The Grizz led 24-7 at the half. We lost 27-24. And the amazing thing is, look at the stats. 97 yards passing for the whole game, and they still came from 17 down to beat us. So we will be more than focused. But let's think about what we got in North Dakota. We got a returning quarterback. We got 2 of the top 3 running backs coming back. So their offense is pretty good. But when you bring a running offense into Washington Grizzly Stadium with this defense that is coming around, I think it's just a great matchup for Montana. And this team was picked in the Missouri Valley, which is the best conference in FCS. Big Sky's close second, but Missouri Valley is the best. Picked 5th to 7th in this. They lose to Kansas State. Then they go and beat Portland State by 30. Great job. 36.5-point favorites. You win by 30. Good job. And their defense has 4 to 5 returning starters. Are they going to go into Washington, the mecca of FCS in Chalmers, Montana? There's a lot of people on Grizz Nation, on eGrizz, that are a little bit scared of this game. I don't do predictions of scores. I just don't like doing that because it always turns bad luck for the Grizz. So I don't do that anymore. But Montana is playing a team that people think are really good, might be a top 20 team. Not buying it. This is a team that lost 5 in a row to end last year. Lose a game, become ranked, then win a game they're supposed to, and now they're not the North Dakota States. They're not the upper echelon. The Grizz will roll them this week. That's all I'll say about that. Next week, Indiana State, not a look-ahead spot. Indiana State's way below North Dakota. We're not worried about that. So we're going to be focused. We got the top 25 matchup, the only one in the FCS. We got North Dakota coming in, thinking they're great. Beat us last year. The focus will be there. There will be no excuses. The Montana Grizzlies will handle business. And in 2 weeks, you're going to see us on national TV. But till then, 3 o'clock Eastern time, 1 o'clock Grizz time. Now, one thing you got to learn, I know this is going long, but you got to learn about the Montana State Bobcats. You got to remember this phrase. Once a Grizzly, always a Bear. Once a Cat, always a... Begins with a P. And you guys can put it all in the comments. One more thing I want you to put in the comments. If you made it this far, you're the most amazing people in the world. Poor Bobcats. Come on, go ahead. Start putting it in the comments. Poor Bobcats. Yeah, not 1, not 2, but 3 straight losses. Hey, moral victories. Good for them. We'll see you guys in the next video. I'll figure out how to end this stream right now. I know it went a little long, but, it's exciting when it's number 5, Montana Grizzlies, number 16, North Dakota. Be there, watch us dominate, and you were here in the beginning of our national title run. We'll see you in the next video. Boom. Boom. Welcome back to the Grizzly Den.
Yeah, so that was the Grizz. So yeah, he feels strong about his Montana Grizzlies position here. Yo, the comments. Poor Bobcats. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks to the Grizz for giving us another Montana Grizzlies breakdown. I think he's going to send in a Montana Grizzlies breakdown every week. Maybe next Friday night we'll get him live, because I don't do college football on Friday nights on live. So maybe we'll get the Grizz on here live next Friday. So North Dakota, tough opponent for the Grizz. Big game. See you guys at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. We're going through 36 games in the morning. So yeah, a lot of football on tomorrow. Thanks as always for watching. Bet responsibly. Later.